Since the early beginnings of recording, musicians have been looking for ways to add natural ambience of a large room to their recordings in a controlled way, because when recording in a small dry space the sound can be a little uninspiring. Nowadays we would just add a simple reverb plugin, but back then it was a little different. This led to natural echo rooms. A recording was played into a large room, it was captured with a microphone. The mic would capture the bigger sound of the room and the recording engineer would have some control over the natural reverb. In the 1940s, when magnetic tape became the standard for recording, people started doing this in other ways. Back then, one track was all you had, and sure, you could overdub, but multi-track recording wasn't invented until the late 1940s. So from where we are today, the miking options were very limited and the sound of the room had a huge impact on the sound. Nowadays we have much more tracks which we can fill with perfectly mic'd instruments, room mics, all we want, and if that isn't enough we add reverb with a few mouse clicks. Okay, back to the 1940s. To make the so important room sound bigger than it actually was, people discovered they could link two tape machines together, one playing back just a little later than the other. And this created some artificial space due to the echo. And halfway through that decade, Les Paul invented his first DIY tape echo, which was the foundation of many other tape echoes. Throughout the 50s and 60s, the tape echo was heard on a lot of records, and several of those models are still inspirations for many pedals being released today. The machines back then were reel-to-reel tape echoes, and they had a cartridge which contained the tape, and they had a lot of moving parts and were breaking down a lot. But in 1974, Roland dropped a bomb with the RE-201 Space Echo. It removed a lot of the issues tape machines had by using less parts. It used a single capstan to drive the tape, and that tape was moving around freely in a compartment on the top. And that was actually one of the design choices that made it more reliable and durable. The tape lasted longer, it was less prone to breaking down, and it was cheaper than the competition, which is always a big win. And that wasn't all, it had inputs from multiple sources and spring reverb built in with bass and treble controls for the reverb. Alright, so the RE-201 Space Echo. My buddy Perry was kind enough to lend it to me. I cannot believe this is a 45-year-old machine. It looks pristine, it's absolutely in brand new condition. It's been taken care of very well. It's been recently serviced, it's got new tape, although the caps were all alright, so they haven't been changed. And that means it will sound different from units that have had their caps changed. So a little later on in this video, when we're going to compare this to the RE-2, it's going to be just for fun. It's not going to be a very scientific experiment, because we don't know what the RE-201 sounds like that Boss based the RE-2 off. So yeah, that's just for fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Like I said, it has built-in spring reverb, which is controlled here, reverb volume, bass and treble, and this green part controls the echo tones. This mode selector lets you select the playhead or a combination of playheads with or without reverb. So a tape echo has a record head and a playhead, but this one has 3 playheads. And when the tape passes the record head, it records what you're playing, and then when it passes the playhead, it plays what you've played. So that time, that distance the tape travels between the record and the playhead is the delay time you're hearing. Now these 3 playheads are in a row. So when you select the first playhead, it will be a shorter delay. If you select the third playhead or the second, it'll be a longer delay, because the distance the tape takes to travel from record to playhead is longer. But the cool thing is that you can actually select a combination of 2 different playheads, which lets you get sounds a normal delay pedal can't make. I'll let you hear that in a minute. Here on the left side are the inputs, mic inputs and instrument inputs, and it doesn't need a lot to start clipping. And that isn't a bad thing, because when it clips it gets grittier, it's also nice. But if you want to keep it clean, you've got to make sure the input level is really low. But then the output level is super low. So I'm compensating for that by putting a Milkman pop-top boost after the tape echo, because that is a super clean, basically it's based on a 1970s mixing console channel with a old op amp inside, and that just gives it a very nice, super clean volume boost. Exactly what I need to run after this unit to compensate for the loss in volume. Alright, enough talk. Let's go to some tones. If you've been watching my channel, you know you may know I hate playing with a dry tone. I always need to have reverb, otherwise I can't play. But with this, it's just perfection. It's so beautiful. Alright, different playhead. So this is playhead 3, which is set to currently. If we switch to playhead 1, so you see the delay gets shorter because the playhead is closer to the record head. Wonderful. Playhead 2, it's longer, and then playhead 3, it's longer again, and then playhead 4 or setting 4 is a combination of 2 playheads, or maybe 3. I can't quite tell. And I couldn't find the info online, so if you know which playheads are selected, please leave a comment. So then we go into the settings with reverb. Then it's playhead 1, 2, 3 and a combination. Combination. So let's go to playhead 3 with reverb. I can just get lost in this. Yeah. Beautiful. Fast forward to 2010, Boss released the RE-20, an RE-201 in pedal form, but a small single pedal RE-201 was never released. Until now. Somewhere late January of this year, Boss contacted me to spill the beans on the RE-2 and asked if I wanted to give it a spin. Demo units were shipped all over the world and it had to be kept silent until the day of the release. And then this happened. This was of course quickly picked up by the internet and threads were opened on the Gear page and Reddit with speculations going all over the place. Okay, so here are some of the comments of these threads. Not legit, it's a Photoshop creation. That looks pretty legit to me, I want that. Well, yeah, of course. If this was at all real, do you really think we wouldn't have learned from, oh, maybe the boss himself first? As is tradition, Boss has announced a new pedal via some guy selling it on eBay. Some people will believe anything. Okay, so this one is brilliant. It's a repainted metal zone. All three concentric spots are for boosting different mid frequencies, and the mode knob is for selecting the number of stacking metal zones. Okay, so there's 50 more pages of this on the Gear page if you want to read them. They're brilliant. I'll put a link in the description. So by then the cat was out of the bag and Boss released an official photo of the RE-2, and I'm super thrilled I can finally let you guys hear this pedal and compare it to the original RE-201 Space Echo. And the RE-2 has been on my mini board ever since I got it, which is now a few months ago. And I had to take it off every time I posted a photo or was recording a video because I had signed a contract that stated that when I spilled the beans on the RE-2, Boss would own my soul for eternity. But now that contract has ended, so here it is, next to the RE-201. So the RE-2 is set to the tone you heard in the intro, the first bit that I played with the Baum Wingman. And the RE-201 is set kind of the same way. And what struck me immediately is that the range of the repeat rate, intensity and echo volume knobs are the same on both devices. Well, pretty much the same. So 9 o'clock intensity here is 9 o'clock intensity there. Echo volume around 2 is echo volume around 2 here. So that is really cool that those parameters actually work the same. What isn't the same is the reverb, because right now the reverb volume is set around 9 o'clock and the reverb on the RE-2 is, so I can see it from here, is set around 3 o'clock. So it has a lot less reverb, which isn't really a bad thing because the reverb on the RE-201 can be quite extreme. But if you are going for that extreme reverb sound, the RE-2 doesn't have that. But again, for me, it isn't a problem at all. So, tones. This is the RE-2. So, I'm actually really blown away by the RE-2. I mean, this is a compact digital pedal. I don't know what it retails for, but it can be super expensive. And they put a lot of the original tape echo character in this pedal. It's amazing. And of course it doesn't have the warmth and the, you know, it would be it would be silly to say it sounds the same, because obviously it doesn't. The original tape echo has kind of like this huge 3D warmth thing going on. But still, if I play just a single note, tape echo, RE-2. And maybe this would even be better for a lot of people, because it's a lot more silent and more dependable, and actually works with gain pedals. It doesn't need workarounds, it doesn't need maintenance. So, yeah. I'd say the RE-2 has more grit to it than the RE-201. In this case, because, you know, like I said before, we don't know what the unit sounds like that Boss based the RE-2 on. Right, more modes. Want a bit of slap. All right. A little longer delay. Let's say mode 9. It's got character. The RE-2 has got character. It's not the same character as this RE-201 here, but it's got that grit you want to hear, that is associated with tape echo generally. So yeah, I am digging it very much. And you know what's cool as well? It has tap tempo. If you hold the switch and then you can tap in your tempo, hold again, and it goes back to normal. Expression control, so you can hook up an expression pedal to adjust several parameters. or you can attach an external foot switch for tap tempo. And it is stereo, so you're getting so much tape echo for your money. I absolutely love it. Really, really cool. And one final thing I want to show you. The RE-201 could self-oscillate, so it didn't need an input signal to go into oscillation. And that is a super cool sound. And that got all of these, well, the spaceship sounds people were experimenting with. What you would do was crank intensity and then just wait. Here it comes. So, I thought, well, would the RE-2 be able to do that as well? Well, yes, it can. All right, crank. Let's turn on the pedal. Crank intensity. And then wait. Here it comes. I mean, how cool is that they even managed to get that into the pedal? Awesome. So, Boss RE-2, please let me know what you think down below in the comments. And if you like my content and haven't subscribed to my channel already, please consider doing so, because that would help me enormously. And if you want to support my work, you can do so on Patreon, where you can find all kinds of exclusive content. Well, gem tracks and tabs. That's it. But it's exclusive to Patreon. Okay, bye!